Meanwhile, Fox is confirming, as you have probably heard, that there was another person at that meeting with Donald Trump Jr., and that person was a Russian and was a former intelligence official within Russia. We don't know how high up, but in fact goes back to the Soviet days, we're told, the Soviet Union days, so at least to the 80s. Former Whitewater counsel Robert Ray mused about that on this show.
You know at the end.
Here that raises your antenna?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, there's an awful lot of talk about collusion. There's no such thing as a federal collusion statute.
Collusion applies more to business.
Yes.
All right, so nothing untoward, at least to the former special counsel there, Whitewater, yet. But again, he'd have to keep seeing him for other developments, as would my next guest, no doubt, Utah Republican Congressman Chris Stewart. He sits, by the way, on that crucial House Intel Committee. Congressman, very good to have you.
Yeah, good to be with you, Neil. Thank you.
You know, it always is like a drip, drip, drip. And, I guess nothing untoward yet to be considered, but do you think it would be better for all of this information, any meetings involving anyone at any time, to get it all out there? Because however this gets to us, it gets to us, right? It gets to those who say, wait a minute, this looks weird. Does it look weird to you?
Well, just no doubt about it. I agree with your idea that let's just get this out. I mean, I thanked Donald Trump Jr. and was grateful that he put out these emails as quickly as he did. But this is the kind of thing where they got to go back and be very careful looking at every meeting or anything associated with this. Who was there? Who was involved? What did they say? What did the email say? And just get it out. I mean, look, there's this thing right now that we're experiencing where you got a lot of Americans who go to bed every night dreaming that Donald Trump is going to be impeached, and they wake up in the morning and they're disappointed it hasn't happened. And I've been saying for a long time, there's a lot of other important things. I wonder if a year from now we look back and say, we ignored North Korea, we ignored, another meaningful stories as we focus on Russia. And I know you guys don't do that, but a lot of Americans do. I think this is one of those times when they're probably going to be disappointed again, but get the information out as quickly and as forthrightly as possible.
Congress, this comes at a time where, people are saying, and again, nothing is proven that was illegal or unusual here, but it was a Russian calling for this meeting. Natalia Valesnitskaya, I guess a Russian lawyer who both parties knew, and then we find out about this ex-Soviet counterintelligence officer, and they stress ex-former. But it begins to start looking weird to those who want and assume nothing but the worst when it comes to Donald Trump. So it feeds the beast, so to speak. Where do you think this is going?
Honestly, I don't think my view on that has changed much. I mean, I've been saying, sitting on the Intel Committee, we've been looking at this since September, nearly a year now. And I've been willing to say over the last couple of months, look, I don't think there's collusion. I don't think that this is something that's going to rise to the level where it threatens the president. I still believe that. But it does raise some questions, and I think those questions, to be fair to the American people, those questions should be answered. But again, it's this kind of this drip, 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 trying to delegitimize the president. It makes it more difficult for him to accomplish his goals, which I support, by the way, and want to help him. Let's get it all out. Let's get the report to the American people, and then let's, one way or another, let's move on.
You talk about the president's agenda, your own agenda, sir, which includes obviously health care reform and getting these tax cuts through. Your own views on the investigation notwithstanding, where do you think they stand? Where do you think the likelihood is that you get either or both of those key sort of tenets of the Republican platform done this year?
Well, I'm actually more optimistic than a lot of people, and it's not either or. It really has to be both. And the key to that, the foundation, is health care reform. We just have to do that. We promised the American people we would. There's $780 billion of tax cuts there that we then use in the tax cut package. You have to do health care reform first, and it's like when we were at the House and we couldn't do it as easily as we thought, but there were so many of us who said we have to do this, and I would say the same thing about the Senate now. They just simply have to find a way to do this, and I'm talking with many of the members who are a little bit reluctant, and I think that they're going to find a way to do it, and probably in the next week or so. And once we've done that, then you have the momentum. You have the kind of psychological and the political momentum and say, now, okay, the next thing, tax reform, which I think is as important as anything else we could be considering, and better for the American people than certainly the tax structure that we're living under now. And I'm actually, Neil, optimistic that we're going to find a way to do it, because the political reality is you just have to.
Yeah, everyone knows you have to, but you know, it's sort of like diets, right? I mean, some people you don't have to worry, sir, but I mean, they know they have to lose weight, right? And they don't do it. Right? We'll see.
Well, some, but you know what? Many people do, and I think those of us
I
in
generally
Congress
don't
are
like
gonna
those
find a way.
people. I generally am not a fan of those people. Congressman, thank you, seriously,
Good
very
to be
much.
with
Very
you.
good having you.
Thank you.